Hello, hello, hello.
Hi guys.
How are you guys doing? I feel like I'm the extra one.
well,
Well, I'm always the extra one, but
exactly.
anyways.
Exactly.
How's everybody doing? We hope your week is going fine. We
Yeah.
hope you're doing all right. Your family, work, and everything is fine. What am I
Mhm.
being extra about? Like how people are doing today. Anyways, I
How have
hope
you
you're
been?
fine. I'm okay. I'm all right. Work is work. I don't want to talk about work because
I
it
feel
is
like
what
we
it
have
is.
for the last 3 weeks now talking about like work and how it not like it's a bad thing, but hey, I think everybody understands the reality of what's happening.
Exactly. Like I feel like if we continue, people will just be like, "Eh, but you're an adult." Like that's what it comes to the territory. So yeah, let's not just like rant about that today. But we hope you guys are fine.
Yeah.
You know what? If you guys are listening to the episode on like any of the podcast streaming platforms, just pause right now. Then go to our YouTube
Oh
channel
yes. Yes.
and go to subscribe on
Mhm.
your YouTube channel. Make sure to turn on the bell notification, like they
Yes.
say. What else did you say?
Yeah, this year.
Share,
Okay.
like, and all of that.
Yeah.
Plus, we have exclusive YouTube content that are going to be
Absolutely.
coming up
Yeah.
on the YouTube channel. So if you're only listening on the audio platform, you're going to be missing out on that, and you don't want to miss out on them. So,
Yeah.
uh,
So you guys should also drop comments when you see the videos that we're dropping exclusively and let us know your take on it on those things that we discuss. It'll be nice to like get your take on the things that we talk about. So ensure you drop your comments. We'll be looking out for it. And hey, you never know when a giveaway might happen, so you don't want to miss out on that.
okay. My initial reaction is, okay, are we doing a giveaway? But you know what? Fine. Truthfully, you don't know when one is gonna happen. So make
Yeah.
sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. How are you doing, Eniola? How is everything?
I'm okay. I'm
Okay.
okay, I guess.
All
Um,
right.
yeah, it's been okay.
Let
Um,
me ask on behalf of the listeners. So we're recording this on the weekend of the coronation of the king.
oh
So let
right.
me ask on behalf of the listeners, did you go for the coronation?
No way, like I could not even be bothered, honestly. But interestingly, I went out on the Saturday and there were a lot of people on the train trying to get to London. And for me, I was just like, it is such a British
Really?
thing for people to be so committed to going out on the day. And it rained all through yesterday.
Oh
Honestly.
wow.
So I was just like, there's no way I'm going out and standing just to see someone walk in a gold castle. I'm sorry. Like the monarchy and all of that, good for them. Yeah, yeah. But I don't really see the point of it anymore. Hey, that's my take.
Right.
So
But did you
I'm
join virtually? Did you watch it
I did
online?
not. I don't even know what happened. I'll probably I want to say I'll probably catch up on social media, but I'm not
Hmm.
going to. Actually, it's not my thing. No.
Okay. I mean, the only did they give you guys like a bank holiday, like you
Yeah,
guys
there's a
call
bank
it
holiday tomorrow.
tomorrow?
Yeah.
That's where I'm jealous of you guys because in my head I'm like, okay, in Canada, the king is the head of state
I was
for
gonna say that
Canada.
is it not
So
for
I am
Canada
like,
as well?
why are we not getting a statutory holiday?
I don't understand the way holidays work in Canada as well. I feel like you guys tend to get a lot less than every other person
Yeah.
does or every
For
other countries
instance,
do.
I don't know about other countries, but I grew up in Nigeria. For Easter, we get 2 days.
Yeah, I was shocked when
Here
you
in
said it was
Canada, we get
one
only
day.
1 day. And
That is
again, it even
weird.
depends on so in your province. So I think Ontario gives Friday off, but like the province of Quebec gives Monday off. But at the end of the day, everybody's getting just 1 day.
That also
I
doesn't make sense because if your ruler, your sovereign, whatever, is
our head of
still
state.
same thing. It's still Charles, and we are getting 2 days. I don't know why you guys are not getting 2 days.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm like,
You see
what's the
why I say I
point
don't
of
see the
having head
point?
of state?
That's my point. You see why I also say I don't see the point of them, the
At
monarchy.
this
Like,
point, I
I
don't know
don't.
why we have a head of state and things happening in the place where our head of state is staying is not applicable to us.
Do you
Why?
get? It's so
What's not the
weird.
point? Where exactly is the point? I don't know. But anyways, I'm jealous of the fact that you guys have a bank holiday.
Yeah,
I knew
we
you
have
guys were
three
going to
in
get.
May, so that's nice. So we had four. Did you? You? Oh, I think I asked you if you had for the Workers' Day because I feel like
We
everybody.
did. So I don't think it's a North American thing. Like I don't think in North America they do that Workers Day, because even in the US, I don't know of anybody that said they had like. And I remember the week before, I kept asking like on the calls that I was on with, and most of them were in the US. I kept asking, I was like, do you guys get like Workers Day off? And they're all looking like, what the hell is that? So I think it's a, I don't know. I don't want to say it's a Nigerian thing because I know that there are other places
No,
around
we
the world
got,
that also
yeah. It was
get
a bank holiday here
Workers'
too.
Day.
Yeah.
We don't get anything. No, we didn't get anything. We didn't get anything.
I don't even
It's
want to get
annoying.
into the UK and Canada dilemma again, but these are the issues, people. These right here are the issues.
I don't know. I don't know. But we actually have like a holiday come, and I think
When
what happens is the times we get days off, it doesn't just align with anywhere else in the world. Maybe sometimes with the US, but most of the time it's not aligned with anywhere else. Like it's just a Canada thing. we
you
actually
see
we actually have one coming up in May, and I'm not gonna
what
like. I'm
dates?
really looking forward to. So it's May 22nd, I think, for this
Why?
year.
What are you celebrating? What's the reason for the holiday?
It's in honor of Queen Victoria. So you can imagine that we have a
I
statutory
can't.
holiday
I
that has
just
been
can't.
for God knows how long, that is associated with the monarchy, and we're not getting statutory holiday for the coronation of the king. Why? Make it make sense to me.
I don't know too. I'm struggling to understand, but hey, you guys rules,
We're literally
Okay.
celebrating our birthday, oh, Queen Victoria.
Who the hell is Queen
Anyways.
Victoria?
Oh, you're asking me. We need to Google that
Do
because I
you
don't
see
know.
my point? Do you see?
I don't know.
But anyways, so there are just a lot of people going to London, which I found really weird because I'm just like no. But then it's a really British thing. They are really committed to the monarchy and the throne and everything it represents. So good for them. Not my thing. But it was nice day yesterday, spending time with family. I saw my mom yesterday. Felt like I'd not seen her for a while. Wish we could spend longer time together.
No,
But I
you
know how
saw her recently. It wasn't like that long.
it was August last year.
Was it August?
Yeah.
I swear, like I could have. I honestly thought it was like what, maybe November or
Mm-mm,
December
mm-mm.
thereabout.
It was
August, long,
August.
long.
You see.
And I remember
So
that it was the same time that Popsy also came. Like Popsy and
yeah,
Momsy came together.
yeah, together.
Ah,
So yeah, they left in
wow.
August. Yeah. Mm.
Okay, okay, okay.
So that was nice, but obviously we didn't get time to gist enough because I think these days I have lots of questions, but we'll get into that in another episode. Anyways, it was nice. Just spent time with family. I was saw one of my cousins. It was good.
Ah,
And then came back to my abode, you know. And sometimes when you go visiting a friend, it's like that time for you to be away from whatever you consider your reality and just be in that space.
bubble.
So exactly. So even if it's like we're connecting with friends or just going out for like games night, whatever, it's just the time away from whatever it is that is happening in your
Your
life. Because
norm.
yeah, even if you're at home and you're watching a movie in your house, so there's still that sense of this is my space. I'm aware of my reality.
Hmm.
But yeah, being back, I was just like, yeah, let's get right into it. It's been okay. I'm alive. I have air that I'm breathing, food to eat, shelter. Thank the Lord we move. How are
Okay.
you?
I'm okay. I'm fine. Yeah, I'm just okay. Honestly, I think if you ask me, I'm just really looking forward to the next long weekend because I don't want us to start this old talk about we really need a 3 day weekend. Like this 2 day is just not adding up to me anymore. Like I just feel like the days goes by so quickly. Like I'm like, I can't believe tomorrow is Monday. Like
I know.
tomorrow is already Monday, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Anyways, let me not rant too much. Adulting is fine. Well, we move. But I'm really looking forward to the statutory holiday. Just knowing that there's just that one extra day to just chill
And
and
it's
do
on a
whatever I want to
Monday,
do.
yeah. So
Yeah,
you
it's on a
have like
Monday.
okay, Friday, Saturday. Okay, okay, makes
That's the thing
sense.
with the statutory holiday. Yeah, they're mostly on Mondays,
Which makes
except
sense.
the Good Friday. Every other one is like they're mostly Mondays. It's usually
Mm,
first Monday or third Monday or fourth Monday or something like that. So it's usually Mondays.
Fair enough,
Usually.
fair enough. And how has
Yeah.
the weather been so far?
So last week, I mean, this week rather was fair in terms of like the amount of rain we got. It wasn't as much as the week before.
Okay.
That's the only thing. And I think this week would be better. Like this new week rather will be better in terms of like warmth. Like
Okay.
yesterday felt warm already. So it's good. It's good. Like you don't need to wear a jacket anymore. I mean, except
Yeah.
you're a
I think it's the
newbie.
same here. It's just the umbrella and the rain. The UK rain is a
On another
mess.
level.
Oh Jesus, it's so annoying. But I really want summer so I can ditch all the somewhat warm outfit and just go full blown summer dresses, sandals, type of vibe. That's where I am right now. But hey,
I
what can
know.
we
So
do?
for me, I do like, yeah, I want summer, but not the July type of
Oh
summer.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Like,
mean like the May, June
yeah, the
type.
May,
Mm,
June type of summer. That's the
mm.
one that I'm
I hear
I'm
you.
on board of
I
because
absolutely hear
the
you.
July one is just too extreme. Like it's like,
The
oh,
worst.
and
See,
it
you know
feels
what
like
pains me about
what?
it? Like, back in Nigeria, it's summer every time, right? And you
Yes,
only have certain days of the month or year where it's like extremely hot.
yeah.
But the one year, for those days, however
It
long
is
it lasts
like
for,
hot all through.
no, it's not the kind of hot that you can go outside and get breeze. It's the
No,
kind of
it's
hot that wherever
humid,
you exactly wherever you are, it's still very. You can be outside, you
hot.
can be inside, you can be
It is
wherever,
still
as long as
extremely
you're not
hot.
in a cold room where AC or whatnot. You maybe cold room where foodstuffs are stored. Literally, it's terrible,
Like it's
terrible.
so bad that you sometimes, if you step outside, it's hard to breathe. And I think the
Exactly.
way they build the houses here in Canada, because it's cold for the most part of the year, the
Hmm.
houses are built with insulation in them to be warm. So during that period, like
Oh,
July in the year, so it could be 20 degrees. No, let's not say 20. So it could be 25 degrees outside. But inside the house could be like 30 something degrees because it's
jeez,
extra warm inside. So you
it's
don't even
terrible.
necessarily want to stay. Everywhere is just hot. Everywhere is just
Exactly.
moist. Everywhere is just ugh.
Tell me about it. And then you have a lot of everybody's like outside.
Outside.
So there's like no, even the ventilation you're supposed to get in from outside is
You're not
even
sharing it
congolated. Do you understand? It's
with so
bad.
many people. So I find it like a lot of times I'm like, but it's mostly warm in Nigeria. So I always find it weird when I'm complaining in July that it is too hot. Oh, it
Yeah,
is
but
too hot.
your body system changes. Like I just very quickly, just like I was telling you in the last, I believe I mentioned in last episode as well that when we got back, I literally turned on the heater for the eating for the first time this year, just because of that shock in
Switch.
weather change. Do you understand? So I
Yeah.
mean, it is just what it is. I mean, to be honest though. When I was much younger and all those people that do travel abroad come back and they're saying, oh, in the
Oh,
extremely hot, and I used to think, didn't you live
yeah.
here before? I fully get it.
Get
I
it now.
absolutely. I'm sorry for the things that
I
I said.
always find it weird because I'm always like, that period, I don't even like you almost feel like you don't want to wear anything. You just want fan on your
Mm-hmm.
face. And at the same
Yes.
time, you don't want to get too much fan on your face because it could affect
Yeah, and
you
then get
as well.
cold.
You now get
See.
cold. It's just a very you see the but like May, June, May to early May, June is the perfect like type
Yes,
of
even
weather that
I
I
feel like
love.
even the ending of June is still bearable. Once we start
But
to
it's like
get
the
into
moment you enter
July,
July, oh my god,
just
it's
forget it.
like nah.
Like
So I'm
I
looking
see
forward to that.
why. Like I absolutely understand now the concept of bomb shots. I didn't fully grasp it before, but I fully
Get it
understand
now.
fully understand the concept of bomb shots. Honestly,
Me, it's not even just bomb shots. I fully understand how, like, when I initially just came, I see people like doing something. I'm like, why are they all like, they're not wearing anything. Like, they're, you see guys outside, they're not even
oh
wearing
yes,
shit. They're
oh yeah,
topless. The only
mm-hmm.
thing they're wearing is their shorts. And I just
Exactly.
like, it never used to make sense to me initially. I'm like, it can't be that bad. Come to Nigeria and see. But
Yeah,
now I
I
absolutely get
I
it.
get it. I do
I
too. I
absolutely
do.
get it. You see short, me and short during summer, what,
Hmm.
like 5 or 6. Don't even come near me with wearing
The amount of
anything
shows that
extra
I've bought,
long.
In fact, earlier in the year when there was like winter sale, you know that the summer outfits like
You
go,
be sale will be on
yeah, like the
sale.
sale is like crazy. I went and bought shorts. I just hope it fits me. But I bought shorts, even if it means opening the zip. I don't care at this point. I just have shorts and I can just wear something over it, and I
Yeah,
just.
good.
Do you understand?
Ah, no, 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 no. Anyways, we rambled and rambled about different things, about the weather and whatnot. Anyways, let me bring us back to what we're actually supposed to be speaking about today. So, what we want to talk about today is around the concept of instant gratification. So, before we actually go into it, let me pull up my phone and read the definition I found online.
Okay.
So, it says, immediate gratification, it's also known as immediate gratification, is the urge to satisfy a craving right away without considering its long-term effects or a bigger picture. That's not necessarily the definition that I have
Because
in
I was just
mind.
thinking I may be craving ice cream. I'm not thinking of whether or not it's making me add weight. Right now, that's what I want.
That's not necessarily what we're going to be focusing on today. What we're trying to focus on today is everybody wanting everything now, like nobody wanting
I
any form
think
of delay,
mm,
everybody wanting it like right away,
I
like
think to be
now.
fair, the definition somewhat works, but it's just that it can be amenable to different. It's
Different
amenable
situations.
to different situations. So I mean, the idea of so for example, when you're starting a when you're on a new fitness journey, most nutritionists will tell you not to just starve yourself of certain food and then just dive into it on a specific day because you can pack on the calories that you've reduced or not taken on days before, and it
Mm,
just doesn't serve any purpose. So most nutritionists will tell you to incorporate those things that you like into your daily meals, but just in
just a
little
yeah,
quantity.
smaller
So
quantities,
exactly,
smaller portions.
because it doesn't allow you to have that withdrawal that once you latch onto it, you're just like, oh my god, I'm diving into it. So instead of, for example, consuming 450 ml um what I say can of ice cream in one day just because it's cheat day, you can have like one scoop, which is like less than 100 ml in a day, and
Mm.
that way you somewhat
You don't
control
feel like you're
your
missing out on something or you're
exactly.
starving or something like
But you
that
also incorporate that thing that you like, the sweet things that you
into
like,
it.
into your daily food, and you don't, like you said, don't feel like you're missing out on something. So it's like that gradual
Balance.
process to get you to where you want to be in terms of your fitness goal. I
Yeah.
think it's the same thing with anything as well. Like, um,
Yeah. I
I
always
mean,
say that if I'm ever supposed to take on a diet, like a form of
mm-hmm,
diet, and they ever say to me that I can never eat plantain, that's the beginning of my failure in that fitness journey because I
fair enough.
absolutely love plantain. You cannot tell me not to eat plantain. Like, it's not possible. I'm fine with you saying, okay, instead of eating maybe one finger, you can eat half. Yeah, but at least I'm eating plantain. But that
Exactly.
I should cut plantain completely.
Mm-hmm.
No, dear. It's not
Exactly.
gonna work.
That's the point. So I think with everything, generally the journey when it comes to instant gratification has evolved with time.
Hmm.
And if you think back to when we're much younger, there are a lot of things that we took and understood as the process that doesn't seem to be the process
Yeah,
anymore.
now.
So the ideal thing at the moment back then was early on when you're in primary school and secondary school, your parents always tell you to focus on your studies, get good degree, get a good grade, and
Mm.
then go on to university, study something that is good enough, and then get good grades in that, and then come out and then just explore the world and see what the world has to offer you. So in a sense, there was like a
A process.
process that you were supposed to follow to
Follow
get to
through.
this path of success
Success.
in that way. Um and then things started to change with globalization, technology, and
Yeah,
all of that.
technology.
So
Mm.
there was like changes, and I think the changes also started from what you studied in school no longer being a determinant
Applicable
of what
to
you would
what
do,
you start, like what your type of job or,
your
what you
career,
then succeed at, or
your
yeah, your
career will
career
end up
path.
exactly will end up being because things were becoming flexible. Employers require different things that you cannot find alone in one degree. So there are people that have different degrees that are doing different things just because they have skills in other areas that are now useful in this particular role that they've
Mm.
gotten or they are trying to apply for. So all of those the linear path that we all knew wasn't
Started
linear
to
anymore.
change.
It
Yeah.
was becoming dynamic and things like that. And at the time it was still okay because
Okay.
do you
It was
understand?
still,
Because
yeah, it was still fair because at the end of the day, like in the example that you've given now with regards to like what you your degree versus like what your job or career path is like, a lot of times people end up, actually like enjoying the career that they started off with, even though it wasn't related to their background. And
absolutely.
that was fine.
Yeah.
You still went through the process of going to school and all of that, and you still got a job, so you're still fine. But
Yeah.
now that has
I
changed.
don't even want us to even jump right because I'm like trying to understand the process of how things change. So, it was okay then. You may have studied accounting in school and then you find yourself in IT because maybe you started off on one job and then found out that okay, I can actually do this thing. You took one professional course or one
Yeah.
degree online and then you learned some skill and then you found yourself there. You've actually realized that I enjoyed doing this
This
more than what I studied.
better.
And it was okay because you're still going through the process. And then when technology came with the internet and social
Social
media,
media.
then the idea of like blogging and vlogging started to gain a lot of attention then.
Yeah.
So you would ideally find people that have day jobs and they're just writing on their
On the
blogs because
side.
that's what they have an interest in. So I could be working in a consulting firm and realize that I have a knack for travel, and instead of just allowing that to go away, it might just be a diary that evolves into like a blog,
Mm-hmm.
etc. And then maybe after like 4 or 5 years, somebody
That
would
becomes
somebody may then gain interest in it, or some travel agency just feels like, oh, I enjoy what you write, I like your audience, can
let's
I connect
partner
with
with
you?
you.
And so the idea of influencing and
Yeah.
market, whatever, started to I don't know that.
Influencer marketing or
Thank you. We're just like, what just happened there? Started to gain a lot of attention as well, and then people realized that they could make money from it while
yeah.
doing the other thing because the notion of doing that as a full time job wasn't ideal. It wasn't a
Yeah.
lot of things that a lot of people could grasp. So if you think of our OG YouTubers, if you think of like Patricia Bright, if you think of Jackie Inos, the people that started like
Way,
way,
way
way
back.
back, you understand like the journey for them because now you can see that oh, they have like million views,
Yes.
for every video that they drop. They probably don't even record videos as often
More,
as they used
but
to.
it's anytime they drop, people are still like
Yeah. But if you
this.
go back to time immemorial when they started, it
It
was like
wasn't
on a
that way.
daily.
Mm.
And then you were seeing videos around like, for example, makeup,
Makeup.
hair. These were the things that were getting a lot of attention then because
Yeah.
people, as with globalization, people started to move to countries where the notion of DIY started to gain a lot of attention. So
Yeah.
things like that was gaining a lot of traction. So there was like this progress that has now led to the Patricia Bride that you see today that is, one gig and the other gig, invited for different shows, etc. So
Yeah.
there was that process.
Process.
The challenge that's happened now.
No.
And I'm trying my best not to put people in this generational box, even when it feels like actually that's what
It
it is.
is.
Is the fact that the Gen Zs were back to them again. They don't understand the notion of process.
No, 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 no. They absolutely don't.
And I
They
really want to
don't.
understand the science behind it because, coming back to, if I go back to like the baby boomers and, the millennials, and then I can somewhat understand how the changes happened from when there
Mm.
was no internet
But
to
for
now
Gen
there's
Z,
internet. But for them, yeah, like I actually don't understand the science
be
behind it. Now, I don't know if it's because, okay, you, as soon as you get a phone,
you're
at age
online.
10 or 12, I don't know how early kids are getting phones these days. The first thing that you do besides adding,
It's
I mean, your
Instagram,
friends, you need Instagram, TikTok, Twitter,
YouTube, yeah,
YouTube,
TikTok.
exactly. Those are the first things that you do. I remember that when I first got my phone, I was trying to get everybody's phone number that had a phone so I can be texting ourselves and
Yeah,
calling
no, I think
ourselves.
even when I got like when I got a phone, there were like camera type of phones, but that wasn't the first phone I got. Like the
No,
first phone I got
obviously
was like
not.
the Nokia 3310. So all I was doing was either getting people's phone numbers, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
And did you remember back? I don't know if you ever used one of these phone books.
Yeah, what are you saying? I have them.
Jesus
Because how
Christ!
would I
Like when
keep
you're in school,
track?
you'll be writing. You
Of
you give each
course.
other okay, write your
Of
this
course.
role is for
What I
A.
of
This is for B.
because
People write their phone numbers in it,
do you know
and then
that
you go
was even
home. You quickly
that
go and be
was
saving it on your phone.
that was even essential for me because I was in body now. So the only time that we would be able to get our phones back was when we are
When
back
you get
home.
back home during the
Exactly for
holidays,
doing the holidays. So it was like, and I didn't get my first phone until end of JSS3 going to SS1. So now, as soon as I'm back, I've already created my book. Everybody's number that I have during the
you
holiday, I've
quickly
written
start
it down.
saving them on your
When I go to
phone.
school, everybody that has gotten phone during the period of the previous
You
time and the new time, we
you
have to
update
update it. And then eventually when we get to update the phone number again. And then it was a thing of midnight calls because obviously how much was I getting
midnight
that I'll be,
calls.
calling
Jesus
somebody during the day.
Christ!
So it was like midnight
I
calls
yes.
and then texting. It was like how
I think
exciting it is for you to go back home. Oh
the
my
max
God.
of the fun that I used to have at the time was playing Snake on my
Oh
phone.
my, tell me about it. Actually, tell like
That
literally,
was it, playing Snake on the
literally.
phone.
Just like, and I would look forward to those holidays because if I were to go and visit somebody or somebody came to visit, I'll be looking for the money. I'll be looking forward to the money they'll give because I know that I can quickly go and buy credit.
Airtime.
Oh, yo, those were fun times. It was
That was
like,
like now that we're even reflecting back on it, I'm like, we were living like it wasn't like we were
what are you saying?
bored. We weren't
What are
bored.
you
Like
saying?
now,
How?
I'm just like, how did we get to the point where you just have to be online? You just have to be online. You just have to be online. If not, you feel like you're missing out on something.
It's
Because
madness.
playing Snake, doing night calls, those were the days.
Those were the days. I mean,
Those
the
were like
days of
fun times.
what are you saying? I think there's something I used to do then. You know that end of the year, like New Year's Eve from like the 29th, all these radio stations will be playing all
They,
the songs, like the hits of the year. So we all like stand there, thinking back on all the hits from the year. They'll do like
jeez.
countdown the top 10 songs, and they were glued to yo,
Did you remember
those
infrared?
what are you saying? I mean, those were the times.
Jesus
Those
Christ.
were the times.
If you ever used Nokia Express Music, shout out to you guys. That time there was one Nokia Express Music that was like the phone of the year. Wow.
Those were good times, honestly. So it was like you go. I mean, even see, I can tell you my process of my phone movement.
I
I
was
started
just
with
saying it this weekend that I remember my first BlackBerry phone. I
see,
remember it was
it
a
was
it was a
curve,
touch. Yours was a curve.
curve.
Mine was a touch. And I remember that my mom, like when she got the phone for me, she literally said to me that she was buying it for me because she saw that all my peers, like all my friends, had it, and she didn't want me to feel like I was missing
Let me
out
tell
on
you how my
something.
own happened now. I was already in Unilag. I believe I was in Unilag second year, if I
I
remember.
remember
Maybe
I was in school, I was in
second
uni
year,
too.
maybe going to third year. So what happened? It was definitely end of second year going to I remember really because what happened was my brother was in the UK, right? And then I would always use because he had a BlackBerry, and then one of my classmates that wanted me to tutor her for one of the courses or modules, as to call it then.
Had a BlackBerry.
Yeah, she needed tutoring for one of those models. So I would just the deal was that I would tutor her in exchange for using her phone to tell my brother. So I had
Wow.
yeah, literally. So I was chatting to my brother, and at the time, I mean Unilag, you know how the pressure happens. Everybody around was probably using a what was
Maybe
this
even
after
that there was
COVID?
no, so Cove was
Bold,
like the most affordable one. The
uh,
bold,
bold.
this
I don't,
is one that you can flip, not necessarily flip, but that you can slide up. I've forgotten what that one was called. That one was like the most expensive
I
at
know
the
that one
time.
there. Oh my god,
I can't
yeah.
remember the name, but
So I would I would use our phone to whenever we're together, and then and then one of those, I think it was like the next year, which was like my for my birthday. So now in third year, my brother then bought me the curve. Now I didn't mind that the curve was getting outdated. The fact is that I had
you
joined
are
the
now
BlackBerry. I had
gang.
a
You have a
pin
BB pin,
to exchange.
BBM
You
pin.
understand? I had a BBP. That's all that matters. Yo,
Jeez.
that was it. Like it was life then.
You know how, like, you see notification, like you see the red sign, oh,
you
someone has sent you a
know.
request, or you see, oh, this person changed that, this, or all those people that they'll be playing music, they'll everything, they'll
And
be
you can see
updating
the
status, you
music.
can see the music. Ah, jeez, those were
That
the
was
days.
those were the
Those were the
those literally were
days.
the days. Oh my god. I think those are also the days where if somebody uses your picture on their profile.
For of on your birthday. People would not take screenshots, you now upload, 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 upload. Jesus Christ.
Those are the days. I can't believe I'm remembering.
But you see the
Uh,
process that we went through, right?
do you understand? So I mean, for me now is shocking. And the shocking thing for me these days is that even for those of us that went through the process, I feel like we're now at that stage where people are
They were
actually
like,
forgetting that there is a process I went
process.
through. So even those that understand that, okay, actually growing up, there was a process that I went through to get to today. It's not like this sense of I need it today. Like
It
today,
has to be today.
it's like
Today,
today I started a YouTube channel. Tomorrow
it
I need to
has
buy
to
a
blow.
Benz.
It has
I
to
need to
blow
buy
from today.
Benz or Range Rover.
Yeah.
One of the two.
I've started
However,
posting
way.
skits online. My range, my Mercedes, my house in Banana Island has to come up like now. Like it
Do you
has to be
understand?
now, now, now.
For me, it's crazy and it's wild and it's mad because for the people that are doing other things, because you don't even need to know someone personally to know
To
that
know.
that's not you're doing. It's not really what's giving you what is giving you. But okay,
Yeah.
no problem. To understand that it takes a while for whatever it is that you're doing to materialize
To the
into
point where you start to reap
such benefit from it.
benefits.
Because everything takes time.
Yeah.
Every single thing takes time. The same way a child is not conceived today and born tomorrow. It's the same way you don't go to school today and graduate tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's the same way you don't
You
start a
can't
business today and then start earning millions
today.
tomorrow.
It's the same way you can't start a job today and expect to be a vice president tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
Like
you see, it's the same way you can't start a job today and get paid for the month today. Do you understand? Like it takes
you
a
have to,
process.
yeah, you have to
And that
work for
process
it.
means that you have to put in the work and whatever work
Work
is.
it is. You
Do
have
you
to put
understand? So
some work in it.
it's shocking for me when this notion of instant gratification is so popularized and is so put out there as the
And it's
norm.
insane. And for me, I'm just like, this is not realistic.
Exactly.
And people need to accept that it's not realistic. Like, you can't expect to wake up today and just become, without putting in too much, it has to happen today. You're starting something today, and automatically today, you want the result of someone that's been doing it for 10 years. You don't care.
Exactly.
You don't even want to like sit and listen or watch the process, the people that have been doing it for 10 years, and how they got there, and what it took. You don't want, you don't care. You just want to be like them today, even though they have been doing it for so
I
long.
think the painful part for me is when people then start to measure their own success
Success.
against someone else's and then you put yourself under pressure. So for example, if I have lived in the UK for 3 years, and
Mm,
in the 3 years I've been working all through and saving aggressively, right?
yeah.
And you know that the UK currency is higher than the Canadian currency,
Yeah.
right? So I'm saving aggressively, and let's say in the last 3 years I've managed to save £70,000, for
Okay.
example, right? And then I moved to Canada today. Um, in 2 or 3 months, based on my
You.
experience in the last 3 years, I get a job.
Hmm.
And in the next 6 months, I'm having
By
conversations with realtors because I want to buy
buying
a
a
house.
house.
converting my 70,000 pounds to Canadian dollars probably gonna fetch me like
That's a lot of
100K or
money.
something. Do you
Yeah, that's a
understand?
lot of money in Canadian dollars. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm probably looking at a 1 million pounds or 1 million Canadian dollars house, and I'm like, yeah, I have the deposit and I have every other lawyer fee, whatever, broker, all the extra fee that you pay on, and I'm
Yeah.
fine. Like I can
I'm
actually
cool
do it. And someone else to see my story, forgetting the UK journey, that doesn't matter to them. The fact is that
anymore. They
I
don't
moved to
care about
Canada.
that one. You just came last year and
Yeah, it's not even up to a year now. I'm
you
buying a
already bought a
house.
house.
And I
And it
didn't buy a
starts with
house in far
you
Saskatoon
said
or,
you
you
said to
know,
buy it in like
in
the
the
popular big cities,
you
like maybe the
get,
Toronto
yeah, you understand. Like even if it's GTA, the GTA that is close to downtown,
downtown.
that side, and you're like, how? Like this person doesn't have to wear now, but how did they do
But
it? They
how
just
did they
moved
do it?
there.
But they just came now. I mean that have been here. What's happening? They don't have two heads now, and then you start to put yourself under pressure.
Exactly. Or for the ones that want to move and think, well, if this person bought a
Ah,
house in 1 year, then I should be able to
I
do
should
the
be able to
same.
buy it now. Me too. Now I just need to land in Canada. The moment I get to Canada, me too. I'll start earning dollars, and I should be able to buy my own house too in
But
6 months.
you see what then happens in those situations, that the normal means of getting there is no longer sufficient. So now it's like
You
I have to do whatever
extra
with whoever and
to
however
get it.
to get it to make it happen, because that also has to be my story. So even if I'm rolling with the fraudulent guys or wherever, I'm doing the back end
I
jobs,
shall
I'm
know
doing
that
what.
it will fetch me what I want because I also want to live that life of I came yesterday, I'm buying a house today. And I
Thank you.
actually even really like the example you brought up because I was watching someone's YouTube channel and the title was like, I don't know, you just got like on my feed and the person was like, we moved to Canada less than and we're able to buy a house in less than a year of moving to Canada. First. And I was like, this is good to see, this is really nice. So I watched the video. First of all, they were there in Alberta. So like the cost of buying a house in Alberta is way cheaper than it is in like Ontario. I was like, okay, makes sense. Then I also then went back and like watched like their other videos, where did they move from? And I realized this person moved from United Arab Emirates. And I'm like,
Guys, they just
it
only started
makes
taxing
sense.
them recently. Oh.
So in my head, I
And
was
that
like,
tax is like
it
5% tax, in
absolutely
case you
makes
don't
sense
know.
to me
In case
that
you
you
don't know.
came from UAE and you're able to buy a house in less than 6 months because absolutely they didn't used to tax you guys. I mean, I know Bear used to
First
live in
stand.
Bear used to live in UAE. So I know. I was like, yeah, what? It makes sense. And in terms of I know that people say, oh, the standard of living in UAE is a lot more expensive than it is here. I
Is
honestly
it?
don't really see it. I really don't see it. Because in my head, I'm like, well, they tax us here. So what? They don't tax them there. Okay. So, okay, then.
That's where the difference is.
That's where the difference is. And most of the time in the UAE, it's more like an expat driven country. So a
Mm,
lot of people are expat, and for expats, you might get like extra benefits where like they could be paying for if
true,
it is
that
your
would not be
house.
reflected in
That
your
would not even be
base.
reflected in your salary itself. Like so,
Yes.
there's some things that you typically maybe spend money on in Canada that those people are
That
not
they
just
won't spend
spending their own
money.
money on.
Sure. Sure.
So when I watched the video, I was like, you know what? It makes sense to me that you're able to afford a house
Mm-hmm.
in less than a year that you moved. First off, you're coming from UAE.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, you are in Alberta. Okay, you definitely have a lot of savings of they've not been taxing you. And then you
Exactly.
you moved here. So absolutely. So if I were one of those people that are like, see this person that came, me, I've been in this country 5 years, almost 5 years. God, when will it happen to me?
Do you see? Yeah.
I would just be putting myself under pressure for no reason.
Exactly. Exactly. I think the most painful part is also, I think for me, is the ends of it, the very young people and the older people. The older people, for me, I feel remorse for them, because I'm like, how far you've come. You understand your journey. It's probably been spoon up to an extent that wasn't. Nobody's journey is ever perfect. So there was a time
Mm,
where it was going well and then it wasn't. Like you understand that things generally take time. Things take time. So if you are then in this box of everybody around me, maybe in your age group, within your social class, or if you think people that you went to school together, your colleagues are doing XYZ and you're not, and then you feel a
Mm,
certain way about it and start putting yourself under
under pressure.
pressure.
Mm.
I'm not even angry at them. It's remorse that I feel for you, that you then feel the need to do so much in a sense to prove yourself to be in that position, to get these things that are associated with, oh, success. Because it's not like car, type of car you drive. It's now the house that you buy. It's now the class of ticket that you buy
Bye.
that
How did we get
measures.
here? Because those are the questions I was asking myself. Because I was like, how did we get to the point where, you know, a personal success, we don't see it as success if it is not matching up with what the standard of success, who created the standard of success.
Exactly.
So it's now like, okay, I can afford to fly to go to another country for vacation, but
It's not
I'm
good
not able, like,
enough.
it's not good enough because I am
It's
in
not business.
economy, it's not business.
Do you
Excuse me,
see?
are we not getting to the same place? Like the person that flew business and the person that flew economy, but we sure got to the place.
Yeah, like for me, I'm not even against those things, but for me, it's like, well, the
Why should
things
I be
that
sad and unhappy with myself that I'm only able to afford economy ticket? Like why?
the fact is that a lot of people can afford to go on vacation. I hope you know.
Yeah,
The economy tickets that they are selling right now is not
they are
really
not
economy.
cheap.
It's not really economy. Let's be honest.
They are not cheap. You buy ticket, you get to the airport, they'll say, "Oh, you need to pay for suitcase and luggage." Like in your head, you're like, "Excuse me, were you expecting me to come just by myself?"
Do you know that it's even worse for you guys in the North America? Because yeah, in Europe now, I can early on buy maybe £40 ticket or £120 ticket max to just go to Paris. I can take the train types.
Here,
Even
everywhere
zone
you're
is
going to,
worse.
even flights within Canada itself is not cheap. Talk less of saying going somewhere else. That's why you notice that most people, like in Canada or the US, most times they want to go to. We don't try to think of going to Europe that often. We just face, you see, North America and the Caribbean. That's where we try to face, because when you think of flying to Europe, you're like, excuse me, I'll
You
use
know,
that money to go to somewhere close by.
I think about it, right? There was a time in which um having the ability to send your kids to a good school,
Was the show of status.
have a car that works. If you want to up it a little bit, that has AC.
At least you can move. You're not
Um,
trekking.
do you understand? G- There was a period in which going for vacation once a year was, you are not in the middle class, you're really in the upper.
You are in the
In the
upper,
upper.
the upper class.
Upper.
Now you have to go to on vacation 4 or 5 times a year for you to be.
In that, and the class of tickets really do matter. The type of hotel and your resort that you stay really counts. Do you understand? Like the basic things are no longer basic.
The
And
basic
it's
things that should be acceptable are no longer being treated as the norm. They're being treated as not good enough.
and I it's I feel so bad for the young ones that are seeing this and thinking this is how it should be. I'm
Because
feeling
that's
like
not how it should be. You see younger people, like someone that just finished from uni, you clearly cannot afford it, but you want to start carrying, you want to start wearing red bottoms, not fake, like the real deal. You want to start carrying
iPhone
Dior. You
14
want to
Pro
start, yeah,
Max.
you want the latest iPhone.
It's madness.
Some of these people that you're seeing or looking up to that have these things, they didn't buy it immediately they go out of school. These people worked for it.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
people are not even thinking of like putting in the work or whatever anymore. It's kind of like if auntie whatever can carry LV bag, why can't I?
Do you understand? See,
So
shout
now you
out.
don't care however you're going to afford to get that LV bag. You don't care. If it means through fraudulent means, you don't care. You just want to be among.
And a lot of people are not keeping it real. I mean, shout out to our senior colleagues, FK and Angela. Like, one that I really appreciate is that they will tell you as it is. See, this. live shows that you're seeing, this, what's it called? Traction. It
that you're
does not
seeing
immediately
now.
translate to money.
See, and that's the honest truth. What I love so much about them is their honesty and how they are very real. Like I think it was on the last episode where Jola was saying that people are seeing them now and they're like, people are calling you, you're seeing your name here, you're seeing your name here. It doesn't necessarily mean pay plenty money is entering the
Do
account,
you
first off.
understand?
Okay, some money is coming in. But did they become FK and Jola today? No.
No, not also that, because if you're trying to create something sustainable, you know that once you get it, you're putting it back into it. You get money from something, you have to put money back into it for you to continue to
Yes.
build it to a certain extent. Like you don't just like spend every profit that you get and think that the business will be
We'll
sustainable for
continue
the
to move,
you can, because you always have to up.
put more and more in
Do you understand? You have
to
to continue to raise the bar. You have to continue to find ways to satisfy your
improve
clients, your audience. You have to find different ways to make things better.
better.
And for those early years, you're probably not going to get anything from it.
Anything.
Do you
You're
understand?
most likely not going to get anything. Like I'm almost said because I didn't. If someone asked me when did I even start listening to FK and Jola, it must have been sometime during COVID.
Oh
And I
yeah,
remember
I
that
think the same
I
for me too.
listened to. I don't even know how they came about on
I
my.
don't know too.
I just found
I
them.
don't
I
remember.
listened to one episode and I went back in time. Like I went
To
back to
listen to
listen
the old,
from the
yeah, from the
beginning.
very first
And I
one.
can I can say that their energy is being the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's been the same. And so now if people are like, FK, Jola, they're calling them here, calling them there, you're seeing them, they went to go and do a live show in, London. You're like, if these people are doing it, me too now. I should be able to draw a like,
No, no, I
gee,
mean it's okay for you to think that you can no,
you can
honestly.
get there. It's not about not being able to
No, no,
set
you
those
can
goals.
actually, yes, you can actually put up something, but you realize that for you to put up something of a certain quality and standard, except your father is or $10 or Bill Gates and is about to sponsor it fully from start to finish, no problem,
Beginning.
wrong with it. Wrong with, like, is you are capable. But if it's that you want the money
Get
from, or you sponsorship or partnership
sponsorships,
to help you to
then
put
you
together
have to
that show,
put
it's
in.
not gonna happen, because nobody actually invests in something that they can't
They can't
actually see the
see
process and the progress. And this is why I started with the OG YouTubers, like the Patricia
Jackie
Bright.
and Petra Bright.
When they started, they probably started with their phones and realized that they needed to up the camera
Yeah.
quality. Like, I talk about Dima's YouTube, and one thing she doesn't compromise on is her
Is a
video quality.
gadget. Yeah, a
She
video quality is top
has
notch.
always been like,
It has always been. It
so
has
I mean, imagine the
always been.
process of investing. Do you know how much cameras cost?
Hmm. Let's not talk about it.
And then you have a tripod, then you have the other accessories that you need to put up.
Lights, these,
Do
that,
you
that,
understand?
and all.
So those things you invest, it's like you have to spend money to make money,
You have to put in the work. You have to put
and
in
the
the money. You
time.
have to put in the time. You have to put in this way. Like I remember one of Dima's video, and she was like, yes, sometimes she asks like someone to edit her videos, but a lot of the time she still does most of the work herself. So even though she can afford to like pay editors, she still does some of these herself.
Because quality
Plus,
matters.
yeah, because for her, the quality of a video is a very important thing for her. And
Mm-hmm.
second of all, yes, she can afford to pay editors now. When she started,
She
she
couldn't.
wasn't paying
Yeah,
editors. She was putting in the work. So even now, when she can afford to pay editors, she still doesn't see it as a big deal in editing her videos herself because she has
exactly.
been doing it for so long that she has mastered the act
Mm-hmm.
already.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it would take someone like a newbie that is just starting off, if it would take them whatever, maybe 2-3 hours to edit a video, because someone like Dima has been doing it for so long, it might take her what 30 minutes and she's done. She already knows what she does, and
Precisely.
she knows precisely how to do it.
Yeah.
So you can't compare that to someone who is just starting and they just want to become Dima today.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was also from the last I said what I said podcast that
Podcast episode.
I was it Tolu Tola, I don't remember the guest's name of the guest. They were talking
Yeah, I
about the fact
remember
that
the person that she's very deep.
Oh yeah.
It's a
But it
very
was
deep
about the
person.
fact that the way you build yourself in terms of maybe your brand or your business is that you show up every day and you do something and then you give yourself room to improve on it and then you do it again and you do it again. That even if you were to sit down in a master class where they give you all the tools on how to do it,
You
you
still need
actually
to do
cannot
it.
know how to do it without trying it first.
Yeah.
Because the method that somebody else may recommend to you may work at first and then you find out different ways to improve on it.
Yeah, they're like, okay, let me just change this. Let me add this here. Let me do this. Oh, okay. And you like the output, and you're like, okay, this is my style going forward.
Exactly. So that when people then when you start to get accolades for that thing that you're doing, what they are seeing isn't what you started out with first. It's what you've done over the years,
Over and
time and time
over.
again. You've improved on, you've
Adjusted.
mastered. Yeah. And they now see that. And that's what then starts to get the attention of other people, either from your clients, from your customers, from sponsors,
Yeah.
whatever. That's what they see. But the behind the scenes, they actually do not see. And that's all part of the process. So
Hmm.
it's almost like for you to get to that success point, you have
You
to
have
have
to.
all these pain points and this downside and all this journey, mistakes, errors, growth process, and
Hmm.
then you get to that refined point. That's when
And
you
that's
gain
what
all the
everybody
attention.
is now seeing.
Exactly.
Nobody is seeing all the late nights, all the years and years and years that you've put into
Mm-hmm.
like mastering the craft of whatever you are now good at. Nobody's seeing that.
Exactly.
Everybody's seeing a refined product. And it's
Mm-hmm.
very easy for somebody to just sit and be like, but this person is doing it now. Me too, I can start today and become them today.
Exactly.
Is it
That's
that
why the
easy?
that's
It's
something that
not.
I will never really understand. And I hope that every time we can go back to our inner child to replay and reignite that feeling of what it was growing up and having very little and making the
To
most
worry about.
of very little. Like I remember being very excited coming from school and all I wanted to I remember removing my socks, removing my uniform because my mom wouldn't need to. She would dare not catch me in my uniform and my socks. And all I wanted to watch was Tom and Jerry, Pinky and the Brain. Do you understand? That was the exciting thing for me.
Oh my
And even
god.
when I went to secondary school, boarding house is like the most that I can do to show off to my classmates that I have something new. Maybe it's a new palm sandal that I collected from my brother, or maybe one pajamas that has some form of design because we were not even allowed to take like provisions to school or
Oh,
cash or phone, any of those things. So it was like the little day to day things that you use is what you can really use to show off, and how
yeah,
much can that really amount to? Not
yeah.
just even
Because you are
humbles
all
you.
even like wearing like the same
The same
uniform, the
houseware, the
same
same
houseware.
uniform.
Like it's not like you can wear your own thing all through like
The
every
best that
time.
will happen for you is that if you have a what's it called hourglass shape, yours will look fitted on you
Fitted on you.
than somebody else's. Or if you
All of
have
you
the
are
same
dressed the same way.
if you have a mother like mine that only wanted to buy two sets of uniform from just one to just three, your own will be very long from just as one. And as you get taller, you grow with it. Do you understand? Like that's the most that can actually happen. And then
Yeah.
you just move on from that. But it's just understanding the process. And see, for me, it's like I don't even want anybody to pressure me. So once I start to see that I'm around people that feel the need to want to pressure, I remove
Pressure.
myself from that circle
Yeah.
because there isn't like a you have to do this now because that no everybody's journey is
Is
absolutely
different.
different.
It's absolutely different.
See,
No.
one thing that I say is sometimes you can see things and want to get lost in that space. Yeah, it happens sometimes to
Hmm.
your mind may want to drift, you want to start to daydream and all of that, which daydreaming is not a bad thing, it's what you do after that
Yeah.
really counts. But I remember my parents' journey, and a lot of people don't see it now. But I talk about that our journey was somewhat progressive, and early years it was a very slow
Slow
progression,
progression.
like very like I talk about the fact that when we're much younger, like a lot of things that people had that were normal, where the school that you went, the car that your parents
Men
drove, it
drove.
was not the case. I can tell you it was not the case. We lived in a two-bed apartment up until maybe 2009, which is when we then moved, and then four kids.
What?
exactly. There were four kids, and see. Let me tell you what my mother did. That's what I think from her. The way she had did arrange that place. See, if my mother should bring a set of plate, dining dish out, you'll be scared because the quality she don't play with the quality of it. Now, whether or
Right.
not it was from our wedding present or whether or not she invested see, the thing is that early on and in that bed, I can tell you that there was never a time where
Where
I
you
had
felt
yeah, but there was never a time where I had a clothes that was okrika from Yaba. It was never that. So I can have two tops, but those two tops, my mom still will make
a
sure that maybe it's somebody a cousin from somebody that is
quality.
coming from the US. Even if it's only two that she will buy, it's that two that she will wear and you'll be okay with it. So
Yeah.
you see this my own notion of quality over quantity. That's where it started from. That's the honest truth.
Hmm.
So even if I had like two shoes, my mom still make sure that it's the very quality is what she will buy. And you
Yeah.
will wear it for as long as you can
Long
wear
as
it.
possible. Yeah.
That's how she thought about it. But we're in Little Bed for the longest time, and there were four of us, and I'm the youngest. So imagine my siblings are you older than me when we're all in that place. And let me tell you something. The times that my cousins from the UK will come, we all knew how we used to move around. So everybody knows the spaces. People that will take the couch will take the couch. People that will take we know how we used to rearrange ourselves without even
Wow.
being told. That's how it used to happen. And I can tell you that I never felt that I was lacking anything.
Anything.
Do you understand? One thing that I know happened for us was my dad was always very open. So the day that there is money, we all
You
know.
people will know.
The day that there is not, we all
You
know.
know.
It's very obvious. It's clear. There's no hiding. Now, when we then moved into our house, obviously there was a process of doing it up. Like
Building.
most people, like most parents in my time, or in our time, I believe, the house were not 100% completed when we all moved.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something still needs to be
There will
done.
still,
Maybe
yeah, there will still be one thing that is not fully done, but at least
finish. Do
people are
you,
not going to be paying rent. That money for the rent, you can be using it to fix the place, small, 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 till you're
do you
done.
understand? And interestingly, like we were even parents in a two-bed house. I think five way years, first like 1997, 97. My dad had bought the place. It was more like a country.
Ah,
So it was so when we're leaving, we actually sold it. But I can tell you that when church members where we used to live before started coming to our house,
they'll
it
be
almost
like
felt like they were doing a tour. Because how do you move from a
a
two-bed
two
house
bed
to a for a four
mansion.
bed twin duplex? It didn't make sense to a lot of people. First of all, the time they were coming, the house had been done up. I can tell you that when we moved there, it didn't have a ceiling, it had a roof. They were doing it while we were there. The painting, I remember we had to change
Nobody's going
tiles
to be
like
seeing all of this. So it is the finished house that they come to and they're like, eh.
so do you like whenever I think about their journey, I mean, I my mom celebrated her 50th birthday in that two bed that way. And let me tell you that year, the clothes we all did ankle. My mom that used to say she didn't want to throw party. The small I'm not calling people, I'm not calling people. Ended up being we have like three set of menu. We
Ah,
have like
ah.
starter. See, my mom don't to play with those things. I told you that in
I,
another life she should be a party planner. I said it time and time again. She just needs to play like I remember my dad also celebrating his 50th day as well. Like I remember the memories that we had. I remember my 4th year birthday. I remember my 10th year birthday in that place. Like the memories are still very vivid. And it's so weird for me now. I don't know if I've mentioned on the podcast, but every time I have a dream, I never dream. My dream is never set in this new place that way. It's always in that
the
old place.
old house.
Every time.
Really?
Yes,
Oh,
every dream that
wow.
I have is never I can't explain it, but it's always the setting is always in that place. Good, we always go back there. And I haven't been to that place since we left. So I don't even know how it's still
Why? How?
vivid. I don't know, but it's just very clear. So when I think about their journey, I think about how old my
Where they
parents
are
were
now.
when they moved to their house. I cannot be pressured at 31 that I don't have a house of my own. I'm sorry. It can't happen. I did
No.
I can't fathom it, whatever. Even if I have the money now and I feel like, oh,
I
I
have to.
can't.
I think if me, I think it's always been, I think for me, it's always been the fact that I've always been kind of like the youngest in my circle.
Yeah.
And it's just always been like a conscious thing to myself to say, you people's journey are definitely going to be different. These people are
Mm-hmm.
older than you. So I have never been one to say, all my friends are doing this, so I should start to do it, or I have to have what they have when they're having it.
Exactly.
Because I've already known, like, from way back, that my journey is going to be definitely different. Like, I try not to put myself under pressure of, but realistically, like, most of us remember when, well, maybe most people remember, like, when their parent got the house, like the way you can remember, like, this story. So
Mm-hmm.
it's so wild how nowadays the pressure is mad
Yeah,
to
because
have what our parent had.
yeah, people are forgetting the journey. It's now more about what other people and my peers have and what I don't have that then measures what I should be striving to
And
do
that
at
means
this
that
moment.
anything that you have at the moment that is okay is just not okay anymore.
Exactly. I mean, you will get to we will get to that phase where owning a house will no longer be adequate.
There will not be
Having a
something else
car,
again.
do you get like it
It
wouldn't
will
even
now
be.
be, what type of house do you have?
That's where I was going. It would not be the kind of house. Is it a
Is
fully
it
detached house or is it a
is it a
townhouse or is it a
townhouse or is it a
semi-detached?
condo?
Hmm. Because that would no longer be fitting the bill. Do you understand? How many rooms is he
Jesus.
having? Is it three
Yeah.
beds or
Is
is
it
it
three
five
bed?
beds? Is it the
How
one
many
with a study?
washrooms? Do you
Mm-hmm.
have Izana's closet?
Do you understand? It will not be that again. And then the car that you drive will no longer be enough. Is it fully electric? Is it a Tesla? Or is it the one? Do you see? And at what point is it actually going to
Going to
stop?
stop.
Because
Yeah.
we get to say where flying business no longer be enough. Is that you're
Yes,
flying
you find
first or
first
you're
class or
flying
your private jet.
private? Private.
But
And
you
what are we
know,
going to be
it's
teaching
already
our
even. I
kids?
think it's
Yeah.
already a thing now. Like at least I don't know if it was. I don't know which podcast I heard it from. I think it might be Off Air Gang
Okay.
show where they talked about how now in somewhere in Lagos there is actually a private jet studio that
Oh,
people go to take photos to claim. And in my head, I'm like, why? Like, why do you have to do this? The first time I heard the story about people buying luxury, so like the shopping bags from luxury brands, I was like, this is insane. Why will I be buying the shopping bag for a luxury brand if I don't own it? Like, why?
see,
It doesn't make sense to
let's not
me.
even get into that one because I don't even know what we're going to end today. Like
Because it's not.
it's wild. It's wild because it's painful now that we are the value system that we had growing up that was our own metric for how we lived our life and decisions that we make are now
Changed.
fading. They almost faded. That now it's like what actually would the next generation know? What value system
What
will
would be
be
the
instilled in there? What will be the
standard?
yardstick?
What would be the
Do you
standard by
understand?
then?
And what are the things that you'll be teaching them?
Hmm.
The little things that I saw growing up and the notion of if it's two tops that you have, that's that. Do you know what that
That's
taught
actually
me?
okay.
Do you know what that taught me? Like what you have is okay for you. You don't have to go looking for. So I was in Unilag. I stayed in Moremi twice in my 4 years in Unilag. And you know something about Moremi girls, they do wear clothes and they do wear
Hmm.
different clothes. Now it
Hmm.
really don't matter if that jeans is from Yaba, it doesn't matter if it's from their friend Chinedu. I'm sorry to use that. But if it's their friend Tolu, let me try to diversify from Yaba that they got that top. Even if it means that you buy like five tops for whatever, however much it
Yeah.
was, even if it wasn't like new, you wash it. And I'm not even condemning the notion of second hand. But my point is, even if that's what they needed to do, my own is that it's my two qualities that I wear.
And
Do you
that's
understand?
on
Because
period. I'm not gonna
and
come and go
that's
and
on
kill
it. Do
myself.
you like that's yeah.
I'm not gonna try to kill myself.
Because
Nope.
where was I even going to get the money from? Let's even start with that.
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah.
When people started using chocolate, do you remember chocolate? That year.
Jesus Christ.
Do you know when I bought my own first chocolate? My first chocolate was like I was leaving Unilag at the time. I'd almost finished. And what
I
happened? I
don't.
did
I'm trying to even
ushering job.
remember. Did I ever even
That
bought
was the
all
very
those
first time I
chocolate
bought
things?
chocolates. See, I had done like ushering jobs. You know, this what we call waiting jobs in the
Yeah.
abroad. I don't know how many ushering. And then the minimum, the first one I did, I got paid 6K. Then it went to
Hi.
7,000. The highest that I got paid was 10,000. So
You
and
people
I didn't
had the
remember.
money together.
Yes, I want to buy. I would have. Is it my dad that wants to tell us to buy chocolate? Eh?
Yeah, I feel
What?
like I think that's part of the. Those are the things because I think back then when I knew this situation in my house, so I'm not going to try to now want to do more than myself. Where will I
How
get
do I
it
even want
from?
to say it? How do I want to say it? Because would I say that the braids that I used to do them for 400 naira
All of
is
a
no longer,
sudden
oh,
is not
it's now
okay.
10,000 or 12,000 chocolates.
That's
I
why
know
I said
then
that
he had
even till now, when I see hair that they are selling, people that have buy it is all well
good
and good
for
for you
you.
people. But it can never make sense to me why I should buy hair of 1,000,000 naira, 800K, 700K, 600. Why? Where am I going? What's happening? What exactly is happening? What happened?
That chocolate that I bought that day, do you know how long I used the chocolate for?
Of course,
I used that nah, that chocolate even knew that. Ah,
you use the
sis.
money and
sis.
extra.
My hard work. Ah, I used that money. I used this because where else would I have gotten it from? Do you understand? Like, and it was. I remember even feeling. I wasn't even. I was so scared to even tell my parents I was doing ocean job
Because
because
they'll tell you why. Are we not taking care of it enough? Why? See, if we continue on this topic, we're just going to continue to talk and talk and talk and talk. The moral of this story, is that what you have is fine. What you have is actually okay. Don't let anybody put you under any pressure. If you cannot afford to fly business class, it's fine. Economy is okay. It's actually okay. Let's learn or understand what process means and
yeah,
why it exists. And
absolutely.
stop comparing ourselves to people that have gone through the process and you are now seeing their finished product and you're wanting to be them in one day.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I think it's also understanding that everybody's journey is
It's
different. So
different.
your own process may take longer than somebody else's, but the fact is that it's going to amount to something
Something.
at some point. As long as you trust that you're doing your best and you're being
Putting in the effort.
honest about it, I think that's the most important thing. Whatever you do, ensure that you can go to bed at night and have a lovely night rest.
Yeah.
Except you have a medical condition that's preventing you from. But with based conscience wise, know that
Mm.
you can f- you have a sense of peace within you because you know that you're doing everything right and it takes
Yeah.
time. Somebody else could have done it 1 year. I mean, we a lot of people don't come out to talk about what's happening in their homes. Some
Yeah.
parents are so flamboyant enough to give people millions and millions of naira that you don't know about and you think that you're in the same group. You're not
You're
there.
not.
You're really not.
You are not.
Like just because you're not showing off to you doesn't mean that everybody has different ways, different processes. I know we've talked about our journey before, where when we're WAPIC, where I could aggressively save. What was I now staying at
Yeah.
home, eating from my parents'
You
kitchen,
can
and
imagine me now comparing myself at the time, saying, "Ha, but this is my friend. Now she saved up this money. I was not staying at home. I was staying by myself."
do you understand? So what was I really spending money on? And then you want to compare our journeys together and think that somebody, no, it doesn't even make sense. And the truth is that I didn't have to come out to say, oh, I'm eating at home, I'm staying at home. You just let people live their own experiences and you
Yeah.
live your own and trust that you are doing the best that you can and that should be adequate. There's no
Yep.
use trying to like prove to someone or prove to people that actually do not matter in your life. And if you're surrounded by people that you call
That are like
friends
that.
and they're pressuring you or feel like, oh, you need to
It's
prove
time to
yourself to
change
them,
your friends.
change. Change now.
Change your friends.
Change right now because there's you really no use being in that place. Do you
And let's
understand?
also even be friends that are not putting people under pressure.
Exactly. See, now this is why I want to put a disclaimer. If you are the one by yourself using somebody else's life as a pressure on your own self, it's you
Then
that
you're the
needs to go
one
and
doing yourself.
clean your own head and clean your own mind. Because I wouldn't have to cower or make myself smaller just to make you happy. No,
Hmm.
do you understand?
Yeah.
But the important thing is don't be that friend that's pressuring somebody else. Don't be that person that um is pressured by other people within your circle. Don't go about putting unnecessary pressure on friends, family, partners, whatever, because
Yeah.
everybody's journey is
It's
different.
different.
I remember the process. Think of what it was when we were much younger. What were the pleasures
Yeah.
then? Let's go
Yeah.
back. I keep saying that I want a day or 2 or 5 days without internet. Let's all see how we'll do. But okay.
We'll go back to playing Snake.
And ladder.
We'll go back to playing Snake. But really, honestly, this is just, our take on it. And
Yeah.
we
I
really
feel like
hope
it's
that
been an
you
interesting
interesting.
conversation. Yeah.
Yeah. We make sure to, share your thoughts as well in the comment
Yes,
section.
please.
Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe, and all of that good
Yes.
stuff. And we will see you guys on our
In the
next
next
episode.
episode.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.